Greetings, fellow Padawans, Jedis alike. Today's lesson is forgiveness. It's one of the most difficult lessons that I've had to try and master. Brief example, a few months ago, I met a wonderful woman by the name of Vivian. I was on a chat group app that I won't even mention, but she reached right out to me right away because I had spoken of some of my experiences with UFOs and an abduction and what have you. She had similar experiences that traumatized her, and she called me right away. We would spend hours having great conversations, and I kind of had a crush on her, and she let me know that she had some boyfriend of sorts that every few months he would show up for a while and then vanish off the face of the earth. And so I backed off, and then she wanted to go on ayahuasca retreats with me and go to Mount Shasta with me on my adventure to the Lemurian city of Telos, and I couldn't separate the friendship from the feelings, and I didn't believe that she was ready to leave everything behind in this 3D Earth matrix to ascend up to 5D because of her apparent inability to let go of the things of this realm, family, friends, the material things and what have you. And when I elaborated on this, she was furious, and I had mistakenly showed her a photograph of one of my female friends in California, and she was insanely jealous. Now, I didn't realize that she had feelings for me, actually, obviously beyond friendship, and she told me otherwise. So her inability to forgive me, she cut me out of her life, and I tried to apologize for hurting her feelings, and it was in vain. You know, my efforts were in vain. So I had an incident with a friend of mine, Dylan. We were trusty sidekicks at Westcare from the HSR Mountain down to 4th Street in Vegas. We always hung out. I used to cook for him. He used to get me whatever I needed. And when I left 4th Street and went to Maryland Parkway, we still hung out. And then when I went from Maryland Parkway to the Freedom House, which is an inversion, that was a terrible place to be, but better than where I'm at right now, surprisingly. Be careful when you think you've got it bad somewhere, because it can get a whole lot worse. Anyways, moving right along, Dylan kept canceling our engagements where we were going to hang out and hit the town and hit Fremont and what have you. So he would cancel at the last minute. So after the third or fourth time, I got upset, hurt, and angry and I kind of went off on him, lashed out, and that was the bridge burned. And then I often thought about him and how I reacted, and I tried to forgive him, and I wanted to make amends. So 2 days ago, I had went to Fremont and I did some mushrooms, and I had a very meditative experience where I was in the spirit realm, basically downloading, uploading, upgrading my DNA, healing my body, my traumas from childhood on, and everything you could think of was accessible to me. And it was in my heart to make contact with him again. I was thinking about him, and I wanted to make contact with him, and I thought about calling him on the phone, but I also intuitively believed that he didn't even have that phone number anymore. So the next day, something told me to go to the bus station in downtown Vegas and hit Fremont and hit the Strip. So I went there, and as soon as I got off the bus, there he was. So we shook hands. I apologized, and I thought we made up. I thought everything was cool. And there's been some trials and tribulations in my recent experiences where I'm going through some really difficult times. And I elaborated those times to him. And then today I ran into him again, 2 days and almost 2 times within like a few days at the bus stop. And he appeared to want to hang out later, around 5, whatever. And then when I texted him to let him know that I was charging my main phone, and this is my secondary phone, he kind of told me that there's too much drama in my life and that it was making him not want to hang out with me. And then he kind of almost accused me of telling Adam about something that I didn't even know what he was. It wasn't me, that's for sure. I didn't do anything retaliatory against him. So he kind of just made it known that he didn't want to be a part of my life anymore. So I basically told him, hey, I reached out, tried to make amends, and I didn't tell on you about anything. There are a lot of people at West Care that like playing games, and they would say stuff about me and what have you that weren't true. And it is what it is. So this lesson of forgiveness is, I've tried twice with 2 people I cared about to admit where I believe I went wrong and seek forgiveness, and it didn't happen. So that's no reason to give up on it, I guess. That's the lesson, that if you put it out there that you're sorry for what you did and you want to mend the fence, and they're not willing or able, chalk it up as experience, my fellow Padawans and Jedis out there. This is full colon, all lowercase, Peter-Jason, full colon, Helfrich. Not quite a Jedi yet, but in training, my final training will be deep within Mount Shasta in the city of Telos. May the Force be with you always.